They're on their way down. So let's make some noise for Polyphia. Okay, Singapore, make some noise for Polyphia. Come on. Okay, over to you, Scott. Over to you, team.
You guys hear me? Yeah! Alright, sweet. Give it up for us, I guess, right? I'm Scott, and this is my good friend. I'm Tim. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, this is our third time in Singapore, actually. Each time gets more badass than the last. So thank you guys for that so far. We haven't even started yet, man. It's pretty sick. I'm gonna take a picture of you guys actually.
iPhone.
Alright, now I'm gonna put my phone on airplane mode. And we're gonna play some tunes for you. With no interruptions from this little guy. So let's get right into it, shall we, Tim? You ready?
Let's do it.
Alright. Let's see if we can fight this humidity. Sweet. So that song is called Goat, as you probably may have already known before. So
We're going to tell you guys a little bit about how we make each song that we play. So I guess we'll just jump right into that. Goat was inspired by trap music, like modern trap music. And in trap music, if you've ever listened to it, there's a heavy use of triplets. And one of the things that we were trying to do on guitar was kind of emulate rappers in trap music, and they also rap in triplets a lot. So we were pretty much trying to do what rappers do on guitars, and ended up with a very flexy version of that, which is Goat. So,
yeah. Funny story about that song, actually. Tim brought over that song to my house back in the day.
last year.
What? No, it had to have been at least 2 years ago. It took us. That was the first song we started writing for New Levels, New Devils, and it took us about a year to do it.
So 2 years ago.
So good old 2017, probably around this time, maybe closer to the summer. Anyway, he brought it over and he had the bells with the first guitar riff, you know, and he was like, well, he showed me and he was like, dude, this should be the vibe for the next album, you know, we should try to just like implement our style into hip hop, or rather implement hip hop into our style. And it was funny too because the song started out real slow, and it was like, I was just like, damn, that's hard as shit. And then of course we didn't know what the hell to do with it that slow, so we sped it up.
Yeah, we made it way faster, so.
Yeah, obviously.
But yeah, that's Goat.
Yeah, and that's how we wrote Goat. That's also how New Levels, New Devils is born, I guess. So, yeah, so we're gonna play some more for you guys. Oh, thank you. This next song is called Saucy. Saucy. All right. Let's see. How do we start writing that one, Tim?
So Saucy started from a thing called chord melody. And if you're unfamiliar with what chord melody is, it's basically, you know, root notes and chords kind of outlining what you're playing and then playing a top melody with that. So for example, our root notes and chords were, and then you add so that you have a whole, and that's how that riff was made.
Yeah. And then how the other riff was made, the whole... Tim and Clay were in the studio doing drums for that song, and they sent me the whole song, and they were like, "Yo, we just need you to put something down in this section. We have no idea where to go with it." And I was like, "All right, let me see what I can conjure up." So I just kind of like put it on my thing and just rolled with it. I did some production on it, and then I kind of just had some ideas, and I just pressed record and went with it. And really, it was probably one of the most natural flowing riffs that came out during that album, for me anyway. So yeah, that's how Saucy was finished. So now we got good old Saucy. And now we're gonna start playing a little older stuff. Ah yes, we have one off of The Most Hated. Let's get right into it, shall we? This guy knows that one. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, heck yeah. Alright, well, Goose started off as, we kind of had this EDM structure to it, where it was like build up and then drop, and then build up and then drop. And, you know, it just kind of like, it's more and more and more intense as the song goes on, and then just like, you know, you hit the climax or whatever, and then you start over. So that one was really EDM inspired at first, and then we kind of tried to implement some hip hop things in there. And yeah.
Yeah, and as far as guitars on that, going back to the chord melody thing, this one is very chord melody heavy, where we start with the first riff. You know, you kind of start with these chords. And then you end up adding the top melody on it with, you get. And then there's that second riff that, you know, the chords and the bass line is. And then you add the top line of bum, 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 da, 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 and then you end up with. And yeah, so that's how that song kind of happened.
All right, well, let's keep rocking and rolling, baby. called A Lot of Notes, 40 Ounce. And boy, does it have a lot of notes.
There's a lot of things happening in that song on the guitar. There's sweep picking and there's multi-finger tapping.
Yeah, there's double-handed tapping.
Yeah, there's some harmonics.
Lots of harmonics, there's some hybrid picking in there too. Just all the techniques we could think of, I guess.
Yeah, lots of stuff. And when we started writing that song, we were on a website called splice.com, which is a free sample pack website. And it came from a Future Bass pack, which was heavily inspired by Wave Racer. The pack was. And we love Wave Racer, so we were like, this sounds like Wave Racer. And so we were trying to think of what would Wave Racer do on guitar. And so that's kind of how that song started.
Yeah. And I guess I'm the funny story guy tonight. Funny story about that song. We were writing it in the studio, finishing up the Most Hated EP. And we had a couple of days left in the studio. We were like, we really want to just get out as much as we can and just write as much as we can. So Tim had his station set up, this laptop with the Axe effects and the guitar, and I had my station set up, laptop, Axe effects and the guitar. And then I'd write a riff and he'd write a riff and we would show each other the riff. And then we would just be like, oh cool, yeah, I got some ideas now for what you're working on, so let me just work on your station. And that's pretty much what we did for the whole song, until it was finished. There were plenty of guitar riffs and versions that didn't make the final, cut, but we did it. And now we have 40 Ounce. And that's 40. And we have actually another song from the Most Hated, so let's play it. That song is called The Worst, but I hope that you think it is the best. So,
Do any of you guys like Jimi Hendrix? Cool. Me and Scott love Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, that song was kind of us trying to think what would Jimmy do if he, you know, were here today, or really what would we do if we could play like Jimmy or write like Jimmy. It was really just Jimmy inspired. It's very pentatonic, and yeah, actually, funny thing that I remembered as we were playing that, because I was listening to the backtrack, Rihanna's actually in that song. Yeah, I took the acapella for "Needed Me" and reversed it, and it's like if you hear that song and listen to the backing track carefully, like in the background, the vocal samples that are happening, that's actually Rihanna. So I just remembered that.
Hopefully she won't get pissed or something.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I guess we'll see.
Anyways, before we play the next song, because I'm about to change guitars, just wanted to tell you a little bit about our Ibanez signature models.
Ah, yes. Oh, I'll go first, okay. So this is the Ibanez SLM10. It is my signature guitar, the Scott LePage signature guitar. And it is, first of all, you look at it and it's just very beautiful. It's a very beautiful guitar. It's like a tiger or one of those animals that has this look to it. You know what I mean? And what we got is a nice quilted maple top, basswood body or basswood even, roasted maple neck. We got the little glow-in-the-dark inlays over here, and then we got pearloid inlays over here, 22 frets, so that we can, how do you say, get a really good tone with this neck pickup over here, which is a true velvet, and so is this middle one. And then down here we got my custom signature DiMarzio pickup, the Igno, which is a humbucker, yes, and it's very, very buttery. It's quite a nice sound. It's very warm. It hits that spot that I like when I'm playing leads and things like that. And then of course back here we have our go-to tuners. You just pull the string up and lock it right there. You just turn the little wheel and you're good to go. And of course over here we got this nice little tremolo. I'm gonna actually show you it in action. I'll just hit a note and I'll just show you how much the flutter is on this thing. And you can really beat it, you know? It's made to be just destroyed, but it won't ever be destroyed. And it's just an awesome guitar, man. You should go buy it, honestly, it's really sick. So, Tim, tell us about yours.
So my guitar is pretty much Scott's guitar, except it's the TH-BB10, which stands for the Tim Henson Black Beauty, because it was inspired from the Black Beauty in the sense that it is black and it is also beautiful. We have the pearloid block inlays, and they're very pretty, and then the gold hardware is also very pretty. It's got a roasted maple neck and the same tremolo that Scott has. With the pickups, these are my custom DiMarzio signature Notorious set, and they really excel with clean tones. I'll show you. Nice and pretty, right? So yeah, anyways, you know, you should also buy this one. You should actually go to your nearest Ibanez retailer, which is that place geographically right next to us, Sweden. Yeah, and order them because they're wonderful, and then you can have two of the most beautiful guitars in the world in your possession, just like we do.
That's right. That's very right, Tim. You could do that. You could do just that. In fact, you could go do that right now. All of you could get up and leave us and go do that, but I hope that you wait until after. So with that being said, let's play some more tunes. Just gonna wait for Tim to get his guitar on. Which one? Maybe. Not quite. I think you will recognize this one though. Who is right? Champagne. Man, that one makes me sweat, dude. That's a hard one to play. Anyway, so we started writing that one actually off of a song. You know what, Tim? Why don't you describe it?
In 2014, there was this song on the radio that we really, really enjoyed. It was called "I Love This," explicit, and it was by a dude named August Alsina. It's like a hip hop R&B song. It's pretty R&B. I remember hearing this song for the first time, thinking it stuck out to me because at the time I'd never really analyzed song structure before. And this song had a pre-chorus, a chorus, and a post-chorus. And I just thought that's so much of the song is just the chorus. You know, that's just a lot of chorus. It's just pretty much hook after hook after hook, which leaves the song to be catchy the entire time. So Scott and I really enjoyed that song, and we decided to we listening to it all the time, and we're like playing guitar with it. This song that has nothing to do with guitars, and we ended up writing the guitars for Champagne on top of this song. So we're gonna play this song for you and play Champagne over the song, and you'll see kind of what we're talking about as far as how we made and structured the song.
Yeah, man. So let's do it. It was buffering before, so hopefully we get all the way through this.
August Alsina. It's a hip-hop R&B song, and we made guitars on top of it, and that's how Champagne was made. So,
yeah, and that's really all there is to it. Obviously, we changed some parts to, fit our style. Like we added in shreddy parts and stuff like that, and like solos and all that good stuff. But that is how we started structuring that song, and it kind of like opened our eyes to like, oh wow, like we should do this with some other songs too, and then it kind of like helped us figure out like how to structure our own songs.
Yeah, you can never really go wrong with a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, and then kind of adding more parts to your chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, and post-chorus type things. So, traditional song structure ends up being the strongest in most situations. So, yeah, that's kind of what we follow,
Yeah, try to anyway. Sometimes we like to get a little crazy, but I think we got a couple more for you guys. These ones are a little older. Let's jump right into them. you. Tim really's got the funny story on this song. So I'm letting that-
This one's actually fairly comedic. So one day, I was getting a haircut, and I just heard that melody in my head. And I was just like, damn, that's a really good melody. And so I told the lady to stop cutting my hair, and I went home and I recorded it. So that is how that song happened.
Yeah, I remember you came over to my house with like a half-shaven head, just this one side, and I was like, dude, what happened? I'm just kidding, you didn't shave it. But yeah, that's how Euphoria was born. There really is nothing more to it other than we just wrote riffs and stuff. And yeah, so we got one more song now, and we're gonna play that one more song. But before we play that one more song, I am gonna warn you, I made this track a few years ago, and we didn't really know if we were gonna play this song or not. Last minute, we decided, yeah, we'll play it. So my young self decided it would be a good idea to put the metronome in the track so that everyone can hear it. So I'm about to show you exactly what that sounds like, so check this out. That's it. Thank you guys so much for coming out.
All right, thank you, team. Thank you, Scott. We are not quite done yet. We're not going to let it go so easily tonight.
Oh, of course. Of course. No,
So
you think we're
basically,
done yet?
yeah, we're going to
You're
answer
stuck here
some
forever.
questions, from the audience. We have some pre-selected questions, so we're hoping that we can answer these questions. And okay, maybe you can start with the first one. How do you get the motivation to keep improving? I've been playing guitar for 5 years, but do not seem to have the right motivation to try and improve my skills. This is from a very demotivated guitar player.
All right, well, we are here to motivate, so let's see what we got. I guess I assume that he's just kind of like bored with it. So the way I try to get past that, I guess I'll give you an example. Someone asked us something similar to this yesterday, but basically when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was play fast, and like I ran up and down all the scales until I was really fast at all the ones that I knew. And then I was kind of just like, well, I mean, I just play like the same stuff all the time, and it's boring now. So that's when I really started to focus on writing and improving, writing and doing all that. So I started taking all those things that I had practiced and learned over the years and started implementing them into songs. And when I realized, wow, I'm a terrible songwriter, that was like, well, I need to fix that. So I started working on that much more. And now, I mean, we push the envelope with the music every year in a sense that I don't think we'll ever write the same album twice. Like, we're always gonna make some new stuff, or at least what we think is new, by like combining stuff together. So I guess to answer the question, would be just try to like keep your mind open to doing other things as well, like writing and stuff like that.
Okay.
I guess, when I was a kid, and learning guitar, the things that motivated me to get better was just getting better. Like every time I would learn like something that was way out of my comfort zone and playing zone, I realized, wow, I really can't do this. You know what I mean? And that was the motivation that I needed to get to that level, was knowing that I couldn't do that very good at all. So yeah, I mean, it's good to compare yourself to what you aspire to be in a healthy way of, I aspire to be that, and otherwise, yeah.
All right, so the next question. How do you come up with these complex chord progressions?
A lot of our chord progressions are not complex.
Yeah, well, there's just a bunch of crazy stuff going on around them. But yeah, for the most part, they really aren't that complex. Like 40 ounce, for example, is literally just. For like this whole second half of the song.
Euphoria is literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, actually a lot of the times we're doing very, very simple things, but flexing on them and making them appear to be a lot more complicated than they are, just by adding more notes. But really, the chord progressions are fairly simple,
Okay, maybe what you meant was, how do you come up with all these complex chords? Maybe that was the question.
It's easy to, when making something, it's easy to make things complex. You just add a lot of stuff. I think doing it tastefully is, something that we've been learning how to do since we started playing. But as far as adding a lot of things in there, it's good to look at it kind of measure by measure. I know a lot of the times when I'm writing, like for example, I'll do it chord by chord. So for example, with Euphoria, we've got the first chord is. So I'll do. Skip to the second chord, third chord. You know, so you kind of, that's just 4 notes per chord. And then, you know, on each chord, like on the second time around, I normally wait till the third chord progression and then flex on that one. So that like it keeps the melody going, but then on the second time it's something slightly different and something that just happens for like a little bit, you know, and it's enough notes that you're just like, wow, that was really cool, and so you want to listen to it again. So it's just kind of, you know, I feel like that's kind of my approach to flexing tastefully, is just picking certain spots in the right moment to just kind of add extra, you know, but, you know, really splitting it up in sections helps. So.
Yeah, and going on top of that, off of what he said, just to give another example, with the 40-ounce ones, it's the same thing applies, you know, like we do it in the song. Just add notes. That one is super flexy and honestly probably a little less tasteful, but yeah, both are good examples, so I guess.
Okay, I guess I can take maybe well, because super fan here, I know you. Okay, so you have a question?
Hi, I have a couple of things to say. First of all, I love you guys. Like, I've been following your music for the longest time. When I was a kid, I forced my dad to fund your Indiegogo campaign.
Well, here we are today because of that, so
Oh,
thanks,
man.
Dad. That's-
Of course.
Yeah, thanks, seriously, thank you. Jeez.
And the second thing is, Tim, your production is amazing.
Thank you.
Like, you shouldn't send your songs to Judge and Y2K, because it's so good. I've watched the video of you making Goat and OD like a million times, and Zanman is way better than OD we have today. Like, and the exhale in Contact for OD works so well with the song. You should have kept it, you should drop it, definitely. It's so much more interesting and more trappy. And Scott, I absolutely love you and your guitar. It looks so sick, man.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, seriously, man. Thanks
Means a
for
lot.
supporting us since literally the very beginning,
Really
too.
passionate feelings I'm feeling coming from you, so that makes my day. Makes me feel warm inside. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
That's
dude.
awesome.
Oh, I have one question actually.
Yeah.
On OD and Goats, there's this sort of like bird kind of siren that
Yeah, so that
Y2K also uses it in Stucco, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so that is what in hip hop a lot of producers kind of put their tags in. That is Ari's tag, is like it's called a loon. It's like the bird noise. You know, a lot of famous ones would be like Ronnie J's Bad Baby saying, "Oh my God, Ronnie," and then the beat drops really hard. That's what that is. So it's basically Y2K's tag in our music. So.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
If you hear anything that occurs often in songs just at the beginning and you're like, what is that?
It's probably a
That's what that
tag.
is.
Yeah.
It's a tag.
It's somebody like saying, "This is my work. This is what I did on this song." You know. So.
Yeah. It was hard to think of an example of one. So many of them have curse words in them.
Yeah. You know, most of them have curse words. So.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah.
Okay, these guys, I think they're big fans as well. They have their guitars with them, so I guess they have some guitar questions.
This is I'm not sure if you know, but this is for Clay. Will he have like his own like custom Ibanez? What, sorry? Signature bass for Ibanez.
Signature bass.
Hopefully.
Hopefully one day he will. He does not currently.
Oh, okay.
You guys should all spam Ibanez and tell him you really, 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 really want a Clay signature. Maybe it'll happen.
Alright, thanks guys.
Thank you, dude.
All right. And fun.
Hi, Tim Scott. Do you remember me from Thailand?
Hi, dude. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good. Yeah, so like long time no see since I was here.
Yeah, dude, it's been about a year, hasn't it?
Yeah. So my question is like, how you like just connect with Ibanez since after that? Because like that day when they fix your guitar, it's kind of like a bit different from like what you have now, right?
Yeah, I mean, when we've kind of been wanting to play Ibanez since we were children, you know?
First guitar I ever got was an Ibanez guitar, actually.
Yeah, for Scott, and my main guitar growing up was an RG 350 MPX. It's kind of like the $400 white Steve Vai looking thing. And so it was always a dream of ours to play Ibanez, and then really just like we had been touring for like a couple years, and then our manager got us in contact with a lovely man named Mike at Ibanez, and he kind of has just been he took us under his wing and made all this happen for us. So
yeah,
you know,
Mike, wherever you are right now in the world, why don't you can we just give a hand for Mike real quick? Mike is so awesome. Wherever you are, Mike.
He's actually here. So
yeah, he's right over there actually.
There he is. Everybody say hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that happened.
Okay, we have a familiar face. This is a supporter who have been coming to a lot of our clinics for many years. Thank you. So I'm giving you a chance to ask some questions.
Yeah, okay. Hi guys.
Hi.
My question would be, do you have any good exercises for sweep picking?
Sweep picking. You know, that's one of those things that you just gotta do it. And it's gonna be way, way out of your comfort zone. But I recommend start with like the smaller ones, like just the 3-string ones, like. And see, even I suck at them still, but. And then you can just go and do the big boy. I haven't done that in a while. Honestly, I don't really like sweep picking. But
it definitely helps to have like a progression of chords that you like to play that you're going to, I mean, because that's what sweep picking is, it's just arpeggios, you know, which is just a broken up chord. So if there's a progression that you like to play, it makes it more fun to practice. For me, I really like playing West House solo and Mile Zero from Periphery. It's like or you know, he plays it way better, but that's what I like to play when I practice sweep picking. So you know.
yeah, I guess best advice, find a song that you like that has it and then practice that. So it doesn't seem grueling. Yeah, thanks for the question.
Okay, next one. What's the best Polyphia song to learn when just getting into your genre?
All of them. We have a tab story now.
Yeah, it's polyphiatabs.com. We should all check it out.
All right,
Swipe
cool.
that link in your DM. I'm just kidding.
I'd probably say Euphoria would be the easiest one to get
Yeah.
into.
It's
It's just
certainly
melody
the most
based.
fun.
Yeah, it's very fun and it's melody based, and it's a fairly you know, fast reward type thing to get you going. So yeah,
I mean, it's got a lot of stuff in there too. It's got a little bit of everything. You got your cool chords and stuff like that. Once you get towards the end there, it's like. So there's a bunch of stuff, and then you got your melody, and then there's like some hard riffage in there too. So yeah, that's probably a good song to start out with, actually. I'd say.
Okay, I'm now here.
There you are.
Okay, so what's your name?
My name is Churan.
Okay, so Turan has a question. What makes a good melody?
What makes a good melody?
I think you know, I think about that a lot actually, and I always think back to when I was a kid, and pretty much every single like children's song has the most fire melody ever, because they're you just always, I don't know, man, I just thought Mary had a little lamb, like that's an amazing melody, and they're so catchy, and I think you know, a good melody is one that like you can sing to yourself over and over and over and over and over, and never really get tired of. So,
on the other hand, what also makes a good melody is going off based on what he said actually. So you guys, I'm sure you all have a song that you really, really hate, and it just gets stuck in your head. And you're just like, God, I wish that song would get out of my head because I hate that song. Well, I hate to break this to you, but that song has a very good melody in it because you can't stop thinking about it, but it's knocking on your brain door and it's there always. So I'd say catchiness is what makes a melody good.
Yeah.
All right, this is the question zone now. All of them, have questions. So, how many more? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I guess we can do 4 more.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This question's for Tim. Could we be expecting a collaboration with T-Pain?
Yeah, I need to make that happen. He came to LA when Scott was there, and we were working on our record. And when I'm not working on Polyphia stuff, I'm doing hip hop stuff. And I just figured like Scott's in town, and if I hit up T-Pain to go work, he's gonna like put me in a studio for like 12 hours and like maybe use me for like 2 of those hours, and I'm just gonna be sitting there like with like 4 other musicians like just waiting to play. So I guess the next time T-Pain's in LA, but there are possible collabs with lots of other large legendary rappers and such in the works too. So yeah.
Yeah, dude.
How do you guys have songs which have lyrics and other songs, most of your songs don't, right? So how do you make that decision of whether lyrics suit the song or whether it should just be like shredding?
Well, so you're referring to So Strange, and I guess Look But Don't Touch as well.
With So Strange, that already was a Kuko song that existed that he hadn't put out, and he just gave it to us, and then we Polyphia-ized it.
Yeah, so that one was already in the bag. And then for Look But Don't Touch, we started writing the song first, and then we were like, you know what, we're good friends with Louis Grant, and he is really awesome, so it'd be cool if we got him on a track, and we kind of just did. We sent him the song, and he wrote something to it.
Yeah,
and,
with Lick But Don't Touch, the intention was to kind of make like, I don't know if you guys have ever listened to Kanye's Yeezus, but that album's incredible, and one of the things that he does so well on that album is beat switch, where like he'll just start the song and then all of a sudden he's in a different song and you just like, what happened? And that was one of the things that we wanted to do with Lick But Don't Touch, because there's about 3 or 4 different parts of Lick But Don't Touch that all sound nothing alike. And that was kind of the whole idea behind that, was to make like things that didn't go together. So
Yeah.
Recently, my friend told me that I shouldn't be learning from tabs because it makes me like a robotic guitar player. But I've been learning from tabs for quite a while already. So my question is, when and why should you learn from tabs?
Okay.
definitely.
I'll let you go first. I have a lot to say about this.
Yeah, I'll get it out when you go. I think it's very important not to rely on tabs, like as your main how you learn things. I will look at tabs of our own music because I'm lazy.
Me too, honestly.
You know, but really it's kind of more for your benefit to train your ear and just listen to it over and over and try and figure it out that way, because that just, it helps your ear, you know what I mean? So the benefit of tabs is that if you're you know, on a time crunch or whatever, you know what I mean, just for convenience sake, you can look at them, they exist. It's good to do that. If you want like a fast kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? A fast, like a fast reward to playing, I guess, you know? And then the more beneficial thing would be to learn by ear.
Yeah. So here's my take on the whole tabs thing. Growing up and learning guitar, I would look at tabs, I would be, when I discovered it, I was like, this is awesome. All the answers are in tabs. and then I would look at those tabs and they were all wrong. And like I could just tell. I would listen to the song and then I would look at the tabs and I'd be like, I'm playing exactly what this tab says. That's not right. That's not what this dude is playing. And I remember I learned a Black Sabbath album, Paranoid, all by myself. And I was just like, I mean, it's a relatively easy album. It's just a pentatonic scale pretty much all the way. So I learned it by ear, and then I would look at the tabs for that, and I'd be like, dude, these are so wrong. I'm just gonna learn everything by ear from now on, because that was much more effective for me. So, I mean, like, people got upset with us for taking our tabs off the internet where other people were sharing them, but we did that because they were wrong, and they were just ruining the integrity of the songs, we felt like. And we sell our tabs and make them perfect. Every single note has value. Like every single note that has like a vibrato or like a slight bend or like a, you know, like a, that, if I went like this on it, or like slid into it, every single value of that note is there with all of the notes. So, I don't know, I think it's important to also make sure that you can do things by ear and learn things and listen to something and say, I can see that in my head, what he's doing. But, I mean, tabs are also a really great tool, especially ours because we make them perfect. Nobody does that, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, going back to like, you know, it being like a more beneficial thing to use your ear. Tabs would be great if, you know, you could go play with an ensemble or like a band or like a group and they handed out sheet music and it was tabs, but I don't know a group that does that. If they're gonna hand out sheet music, it's gonna be sheet music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you're kind of learning, you would be learning like, you know, a form of like sheet music that isn't used necessarily. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's,
I think that's the thing. Tabs maybe are supposed to be just like a general idea, and then sheet music is like, you know, the note values and stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like that's wrong. I would feel weird giving tabs of our music and they weren't exactly what we're doing on the record. So yeah, that's our take on tabs. Good questions.
Okay, one last question.
Hi, how's it going, man?
Pretty okay.
Good.
I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. My legs are shaking. Let me just imagine you naked for a sec. Sweet abs. I've been such big fans of you ever since I heard of you, like 5 minutes ago. But kidding. I've known you since last year, and I haven't really bothered to check it out. And I'm kind of curious now. How did the name Polyphia come about?
oh man.
Man, this is the question. This is a good question, but this is the question that we all dread. And I wish that our good friend Clay was here to tell you it. This is the part. Yeah, well, man, how do you want to start this?
Normally we say, I guess like its actual meaning, it comes from the word polyphony, which means multiple harmonies, and so it's just a play off of that.
Yeah, it's just a made-up word off of that, pretty much.
Yeah, but nobody in the band named it that. It was named by a member who is no longer with us, and to this day, we still do not like our band name. Whenever we get in an Uber as the band, people are always like, "You guys in a band?" And it's just like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" And they're like, "What's it called?" And we're always like, "Metallica." Because every time we say Polyphia, they're like, Bolivia? Or like anything. We were 16 years old when that name was made. And no one thought about, is that too hard to pronounce? Is that too hard to spell? Is it a catchy name? And now here we are almost 10 years later with that name, but here it is.
Big as heck. We actually thought it was a good idea because we were like, oh, if you search that on Google, we're the only thing that'll come up.
I mean, the SEO,
Which is true.
SEO value is wonderful.
That is true, but does that really trump how much we like the name? Because I don't particularly like it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but at this point, we're kind of just have fun with it. Our current logo is a death metal logo that is unreadable. You really don't know what it says. It could say anything. And that's the main logo that we use. So yeah, we just have fun with it. It doesn't matter. It's part of I've got so many Polyphia tattoos that it's just life now, you know. So, but good question. That's our 2 cents on that.
Yeah, and on that note, we are Tim and Scott from Polyphia.
I'm Scott, and this is
Tim.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be back next year. You never know, but probably in one way, shape, or form. And yeah, we love you guys. Seriously.
Thank you.
When we see that you guys are coming out to these, it makes us feel all warm and fuzzy. And we appreciate every single one of you, even the OGs back from the Indiegogo days, especially those ones actually. All right, I'll stop getting mushy. Thank you guys.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Tim. Okay, what's going to happen now? Scott and Tim are just going to take a break in our private room and meet up with the lucky guys who have bought their signature guitars today. And when they're done, they're going to come down and take photos with everyone. So, but meanwhile,